Hello everyone, this is Ankur Mishra. I'm going to talk about a topic that comes up for product managers, which is related to how do you go into meetings with difficult stakeholders. So there are a lot of cases in which product managers are meeting with different stakeholders at all times, and they run into some difficult stakeholders. So what happens with the difficult stakeholders is that whatever you try to present to them, whatever you try to uh, impress upon them, they are not easily impressed. And they also have a counterpoint to each and everything that comes up. So there are different ways in which we can amicably solve those things. And there are specific ways in which we should run such meetings. So I'm going to take you through some of those points in which how you can run meetings with those difficult stakeholders. I want to start with the first point of preparing thoroughly. There is no alternate to preparing thoroughly. You should be ready with your presentation. You should anticipate any potential issues or objections that might come up. And even before the meeting, you should gather all the necessary data and make sure that you play devil's advocate with yourself at times to keep in mind the questions that might come up. If you have heard about your stakeholders from person one or person two, that allows you to set expectations with yourselves on what questions could arise. Also, if you have clear objectives to the meeting, I think you can stick to the agenda and avoid any altercations that might happen as well, or any conflicting things that might come up during the meeting. Now, setting clear expectations is one very important thing as well. You have to distribute an agenda in advance so that you don't digress. You need to stick to the core points of your meeting. So it makes it easier for everybody to start off with the agenda and then come to an outcome. And you have to establish certain grounds for the communication and behavior that should happen. There are ways in which an organization functions, and most of the times people do not cross that line. So rather set the expectation like we are going to ask the questions while somebody is presenting, or the questions are going to come up at the end of the presentation. That helps do things in a better way as well, and the content that you are looking to present or the discussion you are looking to drive is much easier. One of the other things that you can do is start positively. Now again, you know your stakeholders, they work for the same organization, so remember, they're not your enemies. They're people who do not agree with you on certain points. So you can start with some casual conversation, you can have some icebreakers that makes it easier and you ease into a meeting as well. Other important thing you should do is you should acknowledge everyone's presence and thank them for attending. It's very important that you value everybody's time, everybody's input. If you do not do that, your meetings may not go well. So keep that in mind. That is a very important and key point to ponder upon. The next important thing is to listen actively. If you are paying attention to the stakeholders' concerns, you will be able to address them. Again, listen in a way that you are able to absorb everything and you're not looking to react immediately. Use reflective listening techniques and show understanding. You can be nodding your head while somebody is presenting, try to maintain that eye contact, makes it so easy for people to gel well. And this is something that has worked really well for me as well, and helped grow confidence as well. I think the other thing that I want to talk about is using inclusive language. There are places in which I emphasize on the we instead of the I or you to drive outcomes. Again, there should be no finger pointing in meetings. It makes it easier for everybody. If things go amicably, you are going to frame your challenges in a way that you are going to solve them together. So everybody thinks in an inclusive way, makes it easier for everybody to like each other as well in meetings. You should manage time effectively. You cannot allow for meetings to run longer in such cases. So you should think about how we start our meeting, how we go to the middle, and how we are able to conclude with the next steps. If you do that, you can stick to the agenda, get the outcome much faster, and makes it easier for everybody, and you can take a smiling face back out of the meeting. Next thing that I want to talk about is addressing the concerns directly. make sure you do not ignore your stakeholders' comments. You address them, and you address them in a way that there are solutions that you come up with that allow for good conversations. If there are good conversations, there would be good solutions as well that you can get to. And one last point that you can do very well that allows for everybody to think about the work really well is use visual aids. If you have graphs, charts, slides which are available that you are presenting, showcasing on the screens, if you're doing a Zoom meeting or if you're doing an in-person meeting, show it up. If you have those visual aids, it allows people to understand things better as well. There are sometimes words that are used that don't really mean what they're supposed to. So the graphs and charts help you aid that conversation and help the complex ideas to be simplified as well. Again, you can go back to documentation. You can look at how is it that you follow up from these meetings in a nice way. You build that channel of communication between yourself and the stakeholder that allows for things to ease down, and your difficult stakeholders are going to get on your side. So again, keep in mind, you all work together for a single goal. If that is something that is set as an expectation with everybody, I don't think any meeting is difficult or any stakeholder is difficult. So all the best. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. You can reach out to me on YouTube through your comments, and I'll be more than happy to answer. Thank you so much again. Have a great day. Enjoy. All the best.